Steph officially diagnosed with a grade 1 hamstring strain and is expected to miss at least 1 week, aka at least 3 games. And as devastating as the news is, I think the way to look at it is you've got 3 games here to win one of these without Steph. And then hopefully he returns to a 2-2 series after a week of rest. The hamstring is good. Oh yeah, and time to heal that swollen thumb. Now, went over the tape this morning for the Patreon breakdown. Link will be in the description. And I have a couple of thoughts headed into this game 2 and to the rest of this series that, let's be honest, we may not have Steph. Number 1, Anthony Edwards is completely favoring that right ankle. I thought I was seeing that live last night, but again, going through the tape this morning, he had a couple jumpers where he literally wanted to just come down on his left ankle and he'd like hang his right foot in the air. And then a lot of the stuff he missed at the rim, he was trying to wrong foot. So he was going to his left and then jumping off the left foot, same hand, same foot. And I thought that led to some bad angles. And that's clearly, I guess he had sprained it in the Lakers series, had 5 days off, and is still, whether it's a mental, physical, probably both, he's not comfortable jumping off his right leg. And what that means to me is send him left. You want to send him left anyway, but you want to make him have to try to elevate off that right foot or do that same side, same foot thing. He's favoring that, and he's not going to have that same lift and explosiveness once he gets downhill. So that perhaps opens up some other possibilities for the Warriors as far as what big men you could play in this matchup. But let's talk about Jimmy Butler here, because obviously most of this falls onto Jimmy's shoulders and carrying the load while Steph is out offensively. And you watched the matchup particularly late when they went back to Rudy Gobert. Jimmy finds his rhythm off of contact. He wants to get into the body of the defender, and that's where he initiates and gets his rhythm. The problem is with Rudy at 7'2", he gaps him. He gives Jimmy so much space. Jimmy can't get into Rudy's body, and you can tell he doesn't really like that. So he's got to use quickness and craft, and I'm sure he's going to adapt. But the key is Draymond has to continue to make and take the 3 ball. Because you saw when they got bogged down in that fourth quarter, no one wanted to shoot on the perimeter. Pods is cold. GP2, maybe he wants to take it right, and Draymond hadn't been pulling the trigger in the fourth quarter. And so they're just swarming Jimmy at the rim, and Rudy's able to hover in the paint, and Jimmy can't get to his bag. And so if it's Draymond taking and making more threes and staying hot, that's everything. That's going to give us a huge opportunity to steal maybe even more than one of these games while Steph is out, and it let Jimmy operate in the spaces that he wants to. I also bring up Quentin Post as the stretch big, and the pick and pop option for him, pulling Rudy out of the paint, I think is another way to open up the space for Jimmy to operate and run the offense through him. And I go back to Anthony Edwards nursing that right ankle. Perhaps Quentin can hold up better on the defensive end in a drop coverage, understanding, we're not getting Ant at 100%, 100 miles per hour, turning the corner downhill at him. He's trying to do all these side steps and finish off that left foot no matter what. So maybe that lets Post live on the defensive end longer than or more than expected in this matchup. But the key is you've got to surround Jimmy with shooters, guys willing to take and make shots in order for us to run the offense through him and let him do his thing. I think for game 2 in particular, we know the Wolves are going to come out super intense and try to run us off the floor, a revenge game here. And so I'm not saying it's house money, but what are the odds? I haven't checked the odds. I'm assuming it's close to a double-digit point spread for the Wolves in this game 2 on their home court after what took place in game 1 and then the combination of no Steph Curry. And so maybe this is an opportunity in this game 2 to see if Kuminga can get his sea legs. Find a rhythm, find some timing, get comfortable in the matchup, and you see what happens. You stick around. At Pat Spencer, we're going to talk about these options here. And that's the other thing that I noticed in this game 1. GP2 coming off the illness, whatever that may be. I'm not even going to get into it. But GP2 is not guarding the ball like we're accustomed to. You saw it in the Houston series, and then you saw it last night in game one. He's giving up blow-bys on the ball. Now, the thing is with GP2, he makes all these spectacular plays on 50-50 balls and in transition, and that's what sticks in your mind. You're like, GP2, he stole a rebound, he dove and made an incredible play, but like minute to minute on the floor in the half-court defense, he's giving up blow-bys. And so one question that I have is, as good as Officer Pat Spencer looked in his minutes last night, is Pat willing to take that swing three in the corner? He's on the second side. He's on the weak side. Jimmy kicks it from the baseline or it gets swung around. Can he take that with confidence and, more importantly, make it? Because if he can, I'm not so sure that he isn't the better option than GP2. You know you're getting better ball handling, right? But the fact of the matter is he's been the better point of attack defender in his minutes. I don't know what's going on with GP2. So that's something to look at. As far as Pods and Moody, it goes without saying we're going to need more offensive production from both of them. I'm less worried about Pods because I think his confidence is more sturdy, meaning it takes more for Pods to lose his confidence than Moses. Moses right now, he was a mess on both sides. He wasn't rotating. He was caught in no man's land. And there were just so many instances where he got the ball and he didn't know what to do with it. You got to have some sort of game plan when you catch here it's coming to you on the second side, like do something. And so we'll see how that plays out. And again, if you can find maybe 20 plus minutes for Kuminga in this game too, to open up and see if he can get his timing and his confidence back, because we're going to need another scoring option. It goes without saying it's going to have to be a gang effort as far as making up for Steph's offense. And Kuminga's that one guy you circle as a guy outside of Jimmy and Buddy that, hey, he could give you 20 points if he gets going and his confidence gets going. But listen, this Jimmy Buddy thing, someone had asked me to speak on it. It's very real, right? Like their synergy, their connection is, I think that Jimmy, I know you listen to Heat fans, he has a history of enhancing role players. I don't know what it is with his personality, the confidence that he gives these guys. But I also think that there's an element of, clearly they really like each other. I don't know about Jimmy's side. No, but clearly, the tongue-in-cheek and the fun they have post-game with stuff. But I also think that not only has Steve, Steph, Jimmy, everyone put a ton of confidence into Buddy, and you heard Stan Van Gundy say, I've never seen Buddy Hield defend like this, ever, this season. I think that what has in turn happened for Buddy is he doesn't want to let them down. Like he's finally found a home with welcome arms that accepts his goofiness and believes in him. And so the return on that is, I don't want to let you down. I'm going to be focused. I'm going to give my best effort all the time, even on the defensive end. And so the Jimmy Buddy combination, as we see, it can go a long way in keeping us afloat while Steph is out. But again, I think the mindset has to be, get one of these three. Of course, I know some of y'all are going to be greedy and say, no, let's Warriors in 4. You know what I'm saying? No, but realistically speaking, you've got 3 shots here to steal one without Steph. It's 2-2, and then anything can happen. I'll be back with the Game 2 breakdown tomorrow. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.